love. Welcome back to another episode of Rollerset to Mindset. I'm your host, Angela B. Fuller, Master Hairstylist turned Certified Life Coach. Listen, I am so back to be talking with you about another episode, something that's important to me, and hopefully you will find it important to you. Because I know as women in the beauty industry, there's so much that comes our way, so much of how we feel about ourselves is reflected in the work that we perform, is reflected in the conversations that we have with our clients and the women that we serve. And so I'm always willing, always here to hold the conversation, a conversation hopefully to elevate us, to help us to be better, help us to serve better. But before I dive in, you know I always have a pop question for you. And my pop question is this. How big on you are how big are you on looking at yourself? I mean just truly looking at yourself, writing who you are out on paper and writing out ways in which you plan to develop yourself so that you can be better at what you do, better of who you are, and better with the impact that you can have on the women that you serve. And I'll be the first to admit that's not an easy task to evaluate yourself objectively and evaluate yourself in a way that's going to help create change and growth within you. And so I want to begin by setting the record straight. And that is, we are more than capable of doing everything we set out to be and do. And I know sometimes this thing called imposter syndrome sets in. I know there are times when we have to question, are we even capable? Or even, we'll be the first before anybody says it. Who do we think we are to create such a thing? To have a dream of building such a thing? To even dream of becoming a thing? I know we can sometimes be our worst enemy and our worst critic. But I want to challenge you to change that conversation with yourself. I want to challenge you to change that inner dialogue with yourself. Because when we think about the years that we've put into honing our craft, when we think about the years that we've put in personal development, sharpening our skills, building our mindsets, listen, we cannot let all of what we've done, all of what we have poured into ourselves, keep us in the same place or keep us in a place where we are afraid to move forward, to make that next move, to make our lives better, to elevate our lives, to move ourselves to the next level. I'm not saying that it's easy. Because if it's easy, then maybe you need to reevaluate, are you really doing the thing? And so, where I want us to begin is to understand that we are our own leaders, particularly women who are entrepreneurs. As leaders of our own business, everything rise and fall on us. We hear it all the time in businesses and in corporations that everything rise and fall on leadership. And when we are entrepreneurs, sometimes we are a one-woman show. Everything rise and fall on our leadership, on our ability to lead ourselves. And for those of us who have a team, we have to know how to lead from the front, but we also have to know how to lead from behind. And a lot of times that means leading ourselves, and then forward, standing in front of ourselves and following through on what we said we would do. But it also means leading from behind. That means we have to stop and we have to reevaluate the goals that we have set, the things we said we would do. We have to take a step back and look at ourselves, as we have to observe ourselves moving through our life, moving through our business. And we have to ask ourselves, am I accomplishing that which I said I would accomplish 3, 6, 30, 60, 90, 120 days ago? And if we are not, then we have to do something different. We have to move from potential, even though potential is a huge thing, but potential is huge if you have the hunger to back it up. For one, realize that the potential you have is not just for you to sit on it. The potential you have is not for you to evaluate it, to think about it. The potential you have is for you to develop that potential, is for you to um, use that potential, is for you to evaluate it, course correct it, and make it better. Because potential without action, it's really nothing. It's actually just a thought. And it is our thought that create things. So if we don't go to that next level of turning that thought into a thing, then we are just wasting our time. We are really, can I just call it what it is? We are just really a lump on a log. We've got to take that potential, turn that wheel, and turn it into something. Even if we are unsure, sometimes we just have to make a move, and we have to make that move messy. For a long time, I struggle with appearing messy. Because I was on top of my game in one area and known for a particular thing in this industry, anything outside of that, I didn't want to do. I didn't want to try because I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to appear to be perfect at a thing. And I was afraid of looking as if I wasn't absolutely on target, on point, on top of my game. But I came to realize with, taking classes, personal development classes, with getting into my word more and seeing how God saw me, I came to realize that the only way I'm going to get better is to be willing to make the mistake. Because once I make the mistake, then I can go in and fix it. And once I fix a thing, I got a thing, then I can move on to the next venture of perfecting the next thing. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes we got to put aside our fear of appearing less than perfect so that we can not just appear a certain way, but actually be better. So it's important for us to build our skills and our skill set, because when we build our skills and our skill set, we become more confident. And along with building your skill and skill set, you have clarity, because understand that confidence comes after clarity. That clarity has to come first. Once you've gotten the clarity, then you can confidently walk in the direction that you have set for yourself. Also, another thing I want to suggest is that you connect with your why. And when you're connecting with your why, be sure to have a vision attached to that why. And that vision has to be stronger than your fears. That vision has to also go beyond you. Because a lot of times we quit on ourselves, but we're not going to quit on the people who's depending on us. You get what I'm saying? We're not going to quit on the people who are depending on us. It's easier to quit on ourselves than it is to quit on ourselves and those who are depending on us. Uh, I also want, or this is what I had to do, I had to, and I continue to do, I embrace failure and I embrace fear. And what do I mean by that? I don't deny that I might fail. I don't deny that I am afraid. I recognize that failure does exist. I recognize that there's a part of me that's afraid of doing a thing, but I don't let it stop me from doing the thing. I embrace it, I recognize it, and I use it as a tool. I use fear and failure as tools to help me to be better. So I try not to be perfect coming out the gate. I give myself the leeway of, ooh, failure might happen, but failure does not mean that it's dead. Failure does not mean that it's over. You know, failure means trying it a different way. Failure means spending a little more time with it. Failure means asking the right questions and getting the skill set to ensure that I win. Okay? Failure and fear, I have made my best friends, my closest of friends, because I know it has, friends gonna make me better. My best friend is down in the trenches with me because she wants to make me better. So when I tell myself failure and fear are my best friend, I looked at them as my ride or die. I look as those two things, those two negative, I turn into a positive, and it helps me to keep going even when I feel that I can't go on anymore. Okay? And because my thing is, I want to develop my skills. I want to learn how to, what I call, go pro. Because once I go pro, then I can teach it to someone else. And when I teach it to someone else and I see how it is making changes in other people's lives, then that gives me the juice to, okay, let's see what other impact I can have. You know, sometimes we got to get away from using our skills and our success just to build us. And then we have to put our focus on other people, because it's not, in case you didn't know it, it's not always about you. You know, I had to tell myself, Angie, this isn't all about you, because that could be kind of boring. I need the energy of the people whose problems I am trying to solve. I get excited when I come up with ideas to help solve someone else's problem. Because you'd be surprised. If you think you got it all together, try solving more problems for other people. And you will see that some of those same problems exist within you. So, either way you look at it, if you solve other people's problems, you win. If you solve just your problem, you win. But when you combine the two of solving your problem and solving other people's problem, we all rise together. You understand? We all have greater impact. And then we make changes not only in ourselves, but in the world. And so I try and I try and visit what I call my ABCs on a regular. The ABCs are my attitude, the ABCs are my belief, and the next one is commitment. If my attitude is not right, ain't nothing gonna be right. You know, there's a saying in the household, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So if your attitude is not right, nothing for you is gonna go right, because you're gonna struggle with trying to see things, trying to see the positive side of things. And you're going to struggle with trying to see the positive in other people. You're going to struggle to see the positive in what you're trying to do. So work on your attitude. You work on your attitude by taking time to turn within and nourish yourself and feed yourself on a deeper level, on your spirit level. That could involve prayer, that could involve meditation, that could involve exercising your body, that could involve the basic of breathing, breathing deeply, that could involve going outside for a walk. It also can involve trying your very best to stay in the present moment and having an attitude of gratitude for each moment. The next thing, if you struggle with belief in yourself, sometimes we got to listen to someone else's story. And sometimes we got to borrow someone else's belief until we can develop our own belief in ourselves. Another way to develop belief is to not wing a thing. You can do a thing messy, but also have a game plan. So when you find yourself veering off in the area of doubt, you can always bring yourself back when you refer back to your notes, when you refer back to the goals that you have set for yourself, and you can go back and check off what you have accomplished. That will help build your belief. Small steps in progress helps to build your belief. Read a good book, listen to a good podcast, listen to some good music, go take a course in personal development. Be around people who are doing the things that you want to get done. That will help build your belief. And the next thing, honey, is commitment. Along with commitment is consistency. A lot of times that is what kills us, knocks everything off the box before we even get started, is our lack of commitment. To be committed, you must be consistent. I'm not saying you have to do a thing or work on your goal every single day, but you can have it where you work on it once a week, every Monday, once a week. Build consistency. When you build consistency, you build commitment. If you say, I'm going to do a thing twice a week, go even further and say twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday, and be consistent. Because when you are consistent, when you tell yourself the truth, you begin to believe in yourself. You begin to develop confidence in yourself. You begin to trust yourself. So your attitude, your belief, and your commitment helps to develop your inner awareness, helps to develop your inner peace, helps you to develop keeping your word to yourself, which leads to you trusting yourself. And when you trust yourself, you emanate out, and what you do is cause others to trust you as well. And so when you show up for yourself, people believe that you will also show up for them. And when people begin to know you from seeing you, from you doing the thing that you say you're going to do, they begin to know you, they begin to like you, and then they begin to trust you. And that's how your business, your goals, and your dreams go. Always strive to put yourself in a position of people feeling, even on social media, that they know you, that they like you, and that they trust you. And when you do that, Watch and see how your business grow. Watch and see how people will begin to trust you with the problems they are looking for you to solve. Now, here's the thing. The same way you go about setting these goals and being true to what you say you would do for others, I need you to also do for you. Do you understand? Please, are you more committed to looking the part than being the part? We all can look the part, but are you being the part? And you be the part by doing the work, by how you show up. We must resist the things that hold us back and put our focus on the thoughts and the things that help to move our life forward. If you don't like the life you have right now, then go to work to change it. Check your attitude, check your belief, check your commitment, and rate yourself. Because trust me, others are rating you. So I want to encourage you to not give up on yourself. I want to encourage you to keep going. I want to encourage you to ask for help when you need it. But most of all, I want you to have the faith that what you say you want, you can have it as long as you are willing to give up the belief that you cannot. All right? I'm here for you. I'm going to keep bringing you inspiration. I'm going to keep bringing you encouragement because I believe in you and I want to see you succeed. Be sure to share this out. If there's anyone you think that could benefit from this episode, share it out. That's a beautiful way of letting me know that what I am putting out is helping you. I'll be ever so grateful. And I will talk with you soon. Okay? Bye.